Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. NBA Insider, senses Jimmy Butler wants to stay with the Miami Heat. During a recent trip to Los Angeles, Jimmy Butler caused a stir when he suggested he would look good in Lakers colors. Despite the hoopla, the Athletic's Shams Charania believes Butler's preference is to sign a long-term extension with the Miami Heat. My sense is Jimmy Butler does not want to be anywhere but Miami, Charania said on the Pat McAfee show Tuesday. Sense is that he loves it in Miami. But again, he is extension eligible this year. There are multiple teams out there that would give him an extension. Butler is eligible to sign a 2-year, $113 million extension this summer and, according to the Miami Herald, could see the maximum value from another team if the Heat are unwilling to make that commitment. Butler, who will be 35 in September, is currently signed for $48.8 million next season and has a $52.4 million player option for the 2025-26 season. A maximum contract extension would raise his 2025-26 salary by about $2 million and add another year that would pay him $58.6 million for the 2026-27 season. However, the Heat have not signaled a willingness to negotiate an extension with Butler, who appeared in just 60 games and was sidelined with an MCL injury for Miami's first-round playoff loss to the Boston Celtics. That's a big decision on our part to commit those kinds of resources unless you have somebody who's going to be there and available every single night, Heat President Pat Riley said during his end-of-season news conference. That's the truth. If the Heat and Butler cannot come to an agreement, it's expected that other teams would be willing to give Butler a maximum extension. That includes the Philadelphia 76ers, who have made it known that Butler is their backup plan if they cannot sign Paul George in free agency this summer. Other teams like the Lakers, Golden State Warriors, and Houston Rockets have been mentioned as potential destinations. 5 teams that overcame a 2-0 hole in the NBA Finals. Teams are 5-31 when they go down 2-0 in the NBA Finals, best-of-7 series format. The Mavericks are trying to become the 6th team to go the distance. While the odds are stacked heavily against them, they could look for inspiration from 2 teams in just the last decade who pulled off the comeback. Incidentally, all 5 teams lost the first 2 games on the road, much like Luka Doncic's Mavs. The Bucks dropped the first 2 games to the Chris Paul-led Suns by double-digit margins. It seemed all hope was lost. That was until Giannis Antetokounmpo went into beast mode, averaging 37.3 points, 12.5 rebounds and 5.5 assists through the next 4 wins, including a historic 50-point-5 block outing in the Game 6 closeout. Who could forget Jrue Holiday's clutch steal in the decisive Game 5? The Cavaliers overcame not just a 2-0 deficit but a 3-1 hole to stun the 73-win Warriors. In the final 3 games, LeBron James, 36.3 points, 11.7 rebounds, 9.7 assists, 3.0 steals and 3.0 blocks, and Kyrie Irving, 30 points, 4.3 rebounds, 3.3 assists and 1.7 steals, put up absurd numbers, becoming the first duo to each average over 30 points during a 3-game stretch in the shot clock era of the finals. After getting outscored 34-16 in the third quarter of Game 3, the Heat, down 77-68, were on the brink of surrendering a 3-0 lead to Dirk Nowitzki's Mavericks. That was until Dwayne Wade took over. In the fourth, Wade scored 15 points as Miami outscored Dallas 30-19 to steal the game, 98-96. Wade would tally 157 points in the final 4 games to help the Heat capture their first franchise title. The Blazers were riding high off their 4-0 sweep of the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals as Bill Walton outdueled Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in a clash for the ages. However, they ran into a juggernaut of a Sixers team boasting the highest scoring duo in the league of Julius Erving and Doug Collins. After being overwhelmed in the first two games, the Blazers regained their mojo when they returned home, beating the Sixers by a combined margin of 54 points in Games 3 and 4. The final two games were nail-biters, but Walton's Blazers prevailed stunningly. In the series-clinching Game 6, Finals MVP Walton put up an absurd stat line of 20 points, 23 rebounds, 8 blocks, and 7 assists. Bill Russell's swan song was in danger of ending in a whimper, not to mention his perfect 20-0 record in winner-take-all games, NCAA tournaments included. The Lakers, the overwhelming favorites, jumped out to a 2-0 lead against an aging Celtics squad, and the writing was on the wall. But Russell's winning intangibles came through in the final 5 games of a series widely regarded as the greatest ever. Russell had 6 points, 21 rebounds, and 6 assists in Game 7 as the C's prevailed, 108-106. As is well documented, Jerry West became the first losing player to be named Finals MVP. Will the Mavericks join those teams in the history books? At least one of their players, Irving, knows what it takes to overcome a 2-0 finals deficit. Game 3 of the 2024 NBA Finals tips off Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Miami Heat trade proposal would add Kevin Durant to team. In a trade proposal from Grant Hughes of Bleacher Report, they would be doing just that, moving a player to the Phoenix Suns for Kevin Durant. The Miami Heat, long among the leaders in growing payroll numbers, actually have more flexibility than the Suns, who are currently being strangled by the second apron, Hughes wrote in his June 11 article exploring the NBA trade ideas. Besides, the Miami Heat may have more urgency to win now than Phoenix. This deal would give the Suns immediate help, a cheaper alternative, money savings and real draft equity, all for a player heading into the season. Durant and Draymond Green had arguments when Durant was with the Golden State Warriors from 2016 to 2019. Durant even said in 2019 that a fight with Green was one of the many factors that led to him leaving the Warriors for the Brooklyn Nets in free agency, according to ESPN's Malika Andrews. "I mean, your teammate talked to you that way, think about it for a second," Durant said. "But, we talked about it, but it definitely was a factor, for sure, I'm not going to lie about that. He's one of the best we've ever seen, and that's where it is." Despite being 35 years old, the 2013-14 Most Valuable Player is still one of the NBA's top scorers. In the 2023-24 season, playing the most games in a season since leaving the Golden State Warriors, Durant averaged 27.1 points and shot 52.3% from the field and 41.3% from three-point range in 5.4 attempts per game. It might look different because Curry and Durant are older, but the duo would still be one of the most dynamic in the NBA. Even at this stage of their career, they attract the attention of the defense. This could help the two put up big scoring numbers and improve the Warriors' offense, which already had the 9th best offensive rating in the NBA last season. Moving Kuminga would hurt immediately and in the future, but signing Durant could help the Warriors win a championship next season. If they want to capitalize on the fact that Curry is still playing elite basketball, this could be a move that helps them win their 5th championship since 2015. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Kevin Durant? Leave your opinion in the comments.